Good morning and welcome to PMB Morning Show, where politics meets business and the real issue takes center stage. Today, we are looking at two stories that define the state of the nation. The minor cabinet reshuffle and a nation with a bleeding economy. All right, the president in his wisdom has made a quick and little cabinet reshuffle with a bid to reject the economy. The removal of the Minister of Finance, Mr. Edum, who until his removal was the coordinating minister for the economy. This is coming at a time when so many reports are appearing unfavorable, both on paper and in reality. Nigerians are not smiling, nothing seems to be working, quality of life dropping drastically. Could this be a late wake-up call to fixing the economy? Or is the reshuffling, I beg your pardon, rather too late, considering the fact that we have fast approaching another election year in Nigeria? All right, is this move a smart one or a weak one? Is this more of politics or a genuine attempt to revamp the economy? All right, at the same time, away from the minor cabinet reshuffle of the economy. All right, let's go to the economy that is bleeding, which is a lifetime issue. Okay, we are going on break, but before then, I would like to say that here this morning we connect the dots between leadership, accountability, and delivery, because in the end, governance is not just about winning elections, but it's all about making life better. Stay with us. We shall be back to look at what the newspapers have for us. I am Chidi Kenneth, and I have with me my colleague and co-host, Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Good morning, sir.
Morning, CK. How are you doing?
A beautiful Wednesday. I'm so fine. How was your night?
We thank God. Alhamdulillah. Good morning, viewers, too.
Yes, so we have light cabinet reshuffle.
Yes.
And then we have reports reaching us that Nigeria is losing $10 billion on exports. So the economy is bleeding again.
Yes, as usual.
The last time we had at 4.5 trillion. Pre-distribution deductions being looted away from our national treasury the past 3 years, allegedly. So that is World Bank saying that. Okay, before we dive into this topic, we shall be going on a short break. And when we return, we'll go straight to the newspaper review. This is PMB Morning Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this time out. All right, welcome back. This is the PMB Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is Chidi Kenneth, and as usual, like I said before now, that I have my friend, my co-host and colleague, Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Mr. Ibrahim,
yeah.
The newspaper again, like I always ask you, we're not expecting to see killings anymore.
Exactly. I always pray about this before I come out for this program.
Because it's not healthy for...
We keep losing our youth and our brave soldiers every day like this. I can't imagine where we'll be in the next 5 years to come. So
like the Gen Zs will say, it's not good for our mental health.
It's not good for our mental health, actually. Even for our physical well-being as a nation too, honestly speaking. So we pray we don't get to see any of these headlines bearing such sad news about death and kidnap and any banditry activity or insurgency activities.
Okay, the economy is the lifeline of any developed nation. If properly managed, it reflects in the well-being of its citizens. But when it bleeds, the reverse is the case. This is one of the issues we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
And we're going to, with emphasis with what we have here, when we are looking at a bleeding economy and the ripple effect on its citizens, with reference to Nigeria. Reports have it that Nigeria is losing about $10 billion leakages on exports alone.
Annually.
Yes, and yet the people are going through untold hardship. This has raised serious concerns on the ability of government to coordinate the economy and then give the people quality life. What went wrong? Where are the experts? What needs to be done? These are many questions begging for answers.
And this may probably be one of the reasons for which the Minister of Finance and Coordinating the Economy, Edun, has lost his seat. Probably one of the reasons. Because if you cannot effectively coordinate the economy of a nation as a Minister of Finance, and in Nigeria today, we no longer say Minister of Finance, we even attach another sub-responsibility to him, which is coordinating the economy. And when the economy is bleeding this way, losing annually $10 billion, of course,
on export alone.
Of course, even that alone is enough to send.
We will find out if that decision by the president is weak, too late.
No, I can't say. I always say it's never too late to take a positive action.
No. When I say late, or is it early? Is it too little? Somewhere, some.
We'll discuss this when we come.
Yes, we'll look at it. Some might argue that the other ministers has to do in connection with the economy that you also go with Edu.
Hey, let's start with the head first.
Okay, but we'll go to the issue. But when we get there, we'll
cross the bridge.
We'll cross the bridge. It depends on who constructed the bridge, anyway.
It may be you.
All right, to the newspaper, please. Let's see where we are. The first newspaper, please. Blueprint. Can you zoom it up, please?
For coup plotting, federal government files 13-count charge against Silva,
retired general, and 5 others.
Federal government files 13-count charges against Silva, retired general, and 5 others.
Suspect you can see that
you can 6.9 suspect linked to 69.8 million naira for alleged terrorism financing, and police inspector received least sum of 1 million naira in connection with the accused coup plot allegation. So
the issue of the coup is back again.
It's back again. No, issues of coup hardly go until it has been finally resolved. So I think Silva was one time former governor of Rivers State and one time minister. Bayelsa,
and the Minister of Petroleum.
And one time Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. And then he was alleged to have financed the attempted coup plot to oust the incumbent president Bola Tinubu, of which lists were already released to that effect. And up to now, the wives and families of those people that have been arrested in connection with that coup had been protesting and complaining that no action has so far taken place. So
they should come out with proofs.
Exactly, they should come out with proof. They should have been tried, and then let the family know the fate of their loved ones. And their loved ones, of course.
And here we have 5 retired generals and 5 others.
Yeah, who are also involved in the coup plot.
Yes, allegedly. Anyway,
allegedly,
because it has not been proven yet.
Exactly.
Of 13-count charge.
Exactly.
That's a treasonable offense. Anyway, coup plotting.
If it happens to be true, because as it is now, we are all, since the court has not tried them, and the government has just said arrests have been made for people that have been involved in the coup plot, isn't it? So we can only categorically say yes, these people are guilty when finally they are tried and then proven to be guilty of the offense for which they have been.
Yeah, we have one of the captions there. This NAF airstrike killed terrorists in Samisa Forest. Official.
Okay, that's a welcome development. Since it is the terrorists that are going, not Nigerians, Nigerian military. Or
well,
Nigerian
maybe until we are done with the newspaper review before we can tell.
Exactly.
We are so hopeful and prayerful that today's newspaper will have nothing to do with.
Thumb off for the Nigerian Air Force.
Yes. I think
even saying official. Yes. So there's another rider on top there. Court adjourns El-Rufai's bail hearing to June again.
So El-Rufai still remains in detention.
Exactly. It seems as if El-Rufai will continue to be languishing there till the election second place. I don't know. That's the body language that seems to be radiating out of the government. Then we have
But we don't understand. You see, that is why I keep arguing that it has always been the same pattern.
Exactly.
Has MFL gained its freedom?
No, not yet. Not yet.
So you see, government comes in, another government comes in, and then pick who they want to pick.
Exactly.
And however, the
saddest thing is
the bone of contention is the allegations leveled against you. Did you commit them?
That is why it is good for these people to be tried, so that we know whether they have really committed it. Before court deliver judgment, proper investigation will have been done. Do you understand? Then facts might have been established before you will be found guilty and then sentenced appropriately. But in this case, we keep arresting people, then bailing them out, and then rearresting them back again. It shows a very bad body language, actually.
Okay, let's go up. Take it up a bit. Okay, well, what do we have there?
53-year-old Chinese expatriate tests positive to COVID-19. Isolated at University of Calabar Teaching Hospital. Wow. So
COVID is
for the first time in a very long time, we are now
COVID is still lingering.
Exactly. So this calls for concern, actually, because it's a very, very deadly virus and capable of spreading within the short.
That's not even as important as the other one that we said. Why Tinubu sacked Edum?
Dangiwa as ministers.
Why he sacked them? Was he sacked? Or was it
exactly.
reshuffled?
Whether you call it sacking or whether I say pack out, whether you
or reshuffle.
Reshuffle, exactly.
I think a better language than sack is to reshuffle.
No. Sack. When you say reshuffle, he might have been moved to another ministry.
Okay.
But when you say sack, he's no longer part of the government. So you understand?
So he has been asked to pack his load and
pack his kaya and leave. Exactly. So
so we'll look into it properly as we progress, because that forms one of the bases of our discussion.
Because this is one of the ministers that haven't, for my own personal assessment too, this is one of the ministers that hasn't performed anything credible in his time, in the time that
because the junior minister for state has been elevated to
the minister, substantive minister of
finance and the coordinating minister of economy.
Exactly. Because like I told you in our previous discussion, sometimes president takes decisions or promote policies based on advice given to them by their advisors and ministers. So when things is not going well, you as a minister, you as a president, you'll appoint people based on your understanding that can help you run the government smoothly and efficiently. Maybe because of their qualifications and expertise, you understand?
Or experience.
And experiences. But by the time you now appoint them, then they started dragging your government down. That is why the reshuffling is a very welcome development. That explains why during the administration of late Senator Muhammadu Buhari, he allowed some ministers to stay for 8 years. They consolidated power around their ministries. They started having absolute amount of power over their staff. As a result of that, corruption became very, 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 very strong. That is why some of the ministers are now being arrested for corruption and all that up to today. So I think reshuffling is a very, very good move by President Bola Tinubu. So that also shows that it's not always that we will be criticizing the leadership. When the administration does something good, we always commend them and then pat them on the shoulder. This particular one is a step in the right direction.
Yes,
and we hope to see more of it coming.
Yes, we hope. That is why some argued that just removing Dangiwa and Edum was not enough.
No, you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere.
When we get to that
that bridge, we'll
cross it. Let's go. The next newspaper, please. The Vanguard.
Alleged coup. Ex-Minister Silva, retired General others charged with treason. We have talked about that in the previous paper. Then Tinubu removes Edun Dangiwa as ministers. So maybe the headlines are carrying similar, the newspapers are carrying similar stories this morning.
Yes. Can we move? Can we go up?
Go down.
Go.
No, I mean pull it back. Yes. So there are another 3 interesting stories there. Enugu visits Tinubu, declares total support. Enugu 2027. Enugu visits Tinubu declares total support. I don't understand this right now. NGE flies attempt to NBC to gag broadcasters. NGE flies attempt by NBC to gag broadcasters.
Okay, we are the target now.
Exactly.
I am the target, and some other broadcasters too.
Exactly.
We are.
They are trying to stop you guys from speaking out the truth, from enlightening Nigerians.
That would be
from telling power. You see, broadcasters.
That would be a difficult task.
Exactly, broadcasters actually are kind of enlightenment.
You do know why it's going to be a difficult task? We have online broadcasters.
They create awareness.
We have a lot of online broadcasters now.
Exactly. Even that, they are trying to regulate it. And by the time they regulate it, it might be just the way they have a strong grip on the media itself. I don't think now part of the mandate of NBC has to do with also regulating the activities in the social media. And I'm not sure about that, but I'll find this thing out today.
Okay, look at another writer there. I made mistakes, but did my best. Jonathan replies, Atiku. I made mistakes, but did my best.
Very humble and amiable leader. Jonathan was actually.
No. He was humble and admirable when he was removed.
No.
I will argue that when he was there, hello sir, a lot of people criticized him, called him all kinds of names. You know, it has always been the case.
You can't rule a
from time immemorial.
By a certain section of
I'm making my argument. It has always been the case from time immemorial that when people try to sacrifice quality leaders over good leaders, over bad people. Yes. Even in our holy book, when we read, I saw a situation whereby Jesus Christ was brought and they say, give us Barnabas, who was a criminal. The people themselves say, give us Barnabas. Go and crucify Jesus. The holy book, when we saw that story there, it has always been the case. Even in some organizations, when you see psychophants are being rewarded over loyalty, over loyal people, as against the loyal people. So it has always been the case, and that is where we got this local balance statement, life no balance. It has always been the case. I am telling you the truth. Psychophants always have their way in most organizations.
So I don't think we are speaking something, we are speaking different things.
We're not speaking, I'm only telling you that. Yes. You see, Jonathan now, some people might come and say, oh, until he left, we did not understand his relevance. Until he left power. It was when he left power, and then from that moment to today, have we recovered? A bag of rice was 7,000 naira. Fuel was how much?
That's true.
So we have not recovered. It has been going down, grading down. The economy has just been grading down to today. So now people are beginning to say, oh, Jonathan was so good. It is always like that. You don't know how beautiful and how valuable your first wife could be sometimes until you marry the second one.
Understandable.
Yes, sir. Okay, next film paper, please. The Tribune. Apprehension as Supreme Court hears PDP ADC appeals. Apprehension. Okay, Zoom, let's see, what date is it? Is it 22nd of April?
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Okay, no. Let's go back to the main headline, please. Apprehension as Supreme Court hears PDP ADC's appeal. So we're going to find out whether there will be factions in PDP or...
There's a sub-rider there. More defections at House of Reps. PDP loses 5 members. APC loses 2. And I think they are heading toward the ADC. Most probably.
It is obvious.
Most probably. Yes.
It's obvious. It's obvious. So let's see how it goes. And we are looking at the apprehension as Supreme Court. Here's PDP and ADC appeals. Let's see what happens, because the Supreme Court is, the highest legal institution that's saddled with the responsibility to, after any decision taken by the Supreme Court, some will say the next thing is to go to heaven.
What is it?
It's only God that can upturn it. Well, NAV airstrike hits Sambisa, kills terrorist. NAV airstrike hits Sambisa, kills terrorist. Well, okay, that was a commendable one there. Okay, which other one again? We have COVID-19 returns to Nigeria. That was the case of the Chinese expatriate that was tested positive. Tinubu removes Edun, names Oyedele as finance minister. Tinubu removes Edun, names Edele as okay. Dama to replace Dangwa in housing ministry.
Dangiwa.
Okay. All right. I think the headlines
so
are.
I think
They're similar.
El-Rufai detention something is now very clear here. El-Rufai to remain in ICPC custody till June, as court fails to rule on bail application.
What is actually going on? I thought it is his civil right to be granted bail.
It depends on who you are. It depends on the personality of the person in detention.
It depends on the personality.
Exactly.
So the bigger the personality, the more you stay.
The more serious.
Is that enshrined in our law?
It's not. You see, in this country,
or it's politics.
In this country, people.
Is it politics or is it enshrined in our law?
Politics is involved. That's what I'm trying to say.
So politics politics is meddling into law.
Of course, so many times.
Are you saying that the law of our nation has been politicized as a mixture of politics in our law?
See, in this country, forget about even strong politicians. I keep giving you this verse, but I say, if I say it now, this is the third time I'm repeating this thing. This is a country whereby a common, ordinary civil servant would refuse to take action or to respect the court rulings. We saw this happening. Then talk less of somebody that's even higher up. Do you understand? So people disregard legislation, disregard court orders, disregard the constitution itself.
All right, zoom it up. Let's zoom a bit. Can we just, yes, zoom it a bit. Okay.
PDP crisis. Damagum orders commence contempt proceeding against Anyanwu and Amopita. Damagum orders commence contempt proceedings against Anyanwu Amopita. So
the battle over against the INEC chairman and Anyanwu and the rest of them.
Honestly, I will be very, very surprised if Amopitang is allowed to remain on this seat up to the time that
you will be surprised or shocked?
I will be shocked, honestly speaking, because the allegations, the complaints, the protests
surrounding his personality,
exactly,
questionable.
It's questionable, and so many people are protesting against him, even in the diaspora. So such a person cannot be trusted to handle 2017 presidential election. So I will be very, very shocked to have seen him being allowed to conduct the election. And already there are some people that are even suggesting other options, even from within the same region that he came from. So NBC's threat to broadcasters injurious to journalism.
NBC threat to broadcasters injurious to journalism. NGE.
Yes.
Very injurious to journalism.
Honestly.
So why is it? What's the rationale? What's the rationale behind the threats? What are they threatening them?
The NBC is very much aware of the Freedom of Information Bill that has been passed and then made into law. It also knows the importance of freedom of speech to Nigerians. So I am very much surprised when they are taking such steps towards trying to gag the broadcasters. So you are trying to put that into Nigeria into a very, very uncomfortable situation, and then I don't think that can work.
You don't think that can work?
I don't think so, because like I always tell you, Nigeria is not the kind of country that will come and do whatever you want and just go. People are civilized enough, people are educated enough, people are enlightened enough to always speak up. It is only when wrong steps like this have been taken by government officials and then Nigerians decide to keep mum. That's when the leadership will now begin to feel free to do whatever they want. But as long as we keep talking, as well as we keep stating clearly our rights as citizens, we will always scale through the hurdles.
Well, we'll always scale through the hurdles, and that's so says Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Let's see how the hurdles goes. But this issue of apprehension as Supreme Court hears PDP ADC appeal, do you see PDP or do you see ADC now that Wike is now moving for reconciliation? And the report has it allegedly out there. There's some conspiracy out there, theory that now Wike also has a strong, alleged good relationship, working relationship with the judiciary. Will that translate into the forthcoming judgment?
Definitely, for me, yes. For me, yes. In fact, that is why they gladly accepted the gratification of houses and SUVs. I'm telling you, like I told you the last time, once as a government official you take gratification, it's a very diplomatic way of telling you that logo, I'll be coming back for it. Do you understand? And this is now payback time.
That is
Exactly, it's now payback time.
Will I be correct to say it is the Yendeba ideology?
Exactly.
Philosophy?
That is his very word.
So no, it's not his word. I told people, I said it before, Yendeba is an old song.
So whatever description from the southeast, particularly with regard to PDP, whatever decision the court takes now, Nigerian will start to reinterpret it as, you understand what I mean? They will always flash back to the fact
because Wike himself is gunning for peace talks.
Exactly.
As against,
that's why I'm always against the fact that they have accepted that gratification, and up to now they have not been saying anything. In fact, it is even better for the INEC. At least one of them have come out critically to tell Nigerians that this is what happened. Although you implied the other time that it might have been, that too might have been politics. Whether it was politics or not, the fact that somebody has come out to
speak
about it, exactly,
and the direction.
But here they are all happy, and then even before the gratification was advanced, I remember there was a time that the president himself went to address the Supreme Court judges and other Nigerian judges, I think in Lagos somewhere. They were all singing and dancing and clapping for him and singing some kind of song that actually signifies,
on your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand.
This is just the payback time.
On your mandate.
Yeah, I know. On
your mandate you shall stand. You know, you're wearing that cap. I want to see that insignia there, that symbol of the mandates.
No, even before he started using that symbol, we have traditionally been using this cap actually. And mine is just completely black without any symbol.
The cap is not complete.
I'm a neutral person, but that does not mean that I will not go out and cast my election and vote the present administration out until or unless changes have been made to their policy direction.
All right, they are watching you and Nigerians are listening to you.
Yeah, no, I'm a Nigerian. I have my right
to say it.
Exactly. And if I have my way, I can convince a lot of people not to vote this incumbent administration until and unless changes have been made. And thank God, at least they have started, maybe because of discussions like this, like the one we are having and other people like us are having, the government is now starting to, okay, well, people are talking, let's just now do the right thing.
That's
and now we keep saying, exactly. Reshuffling is just an aspect of it. Reshuffling is just an aspect of it. And that is the mistake the previous administration continuously committed. There are reasons that said for 7 years, 8 years.
Hadi Serenka?
Exactly.
Malami,
particularly this Malami. And so
and the report has it that he carted away with so much money allegedly.
Yes, allegedly, because he's still not being
undergoing trial.
Exactly. So I like the wisdom that informs Tinubu that His Excellency President Tinubu, that it's about time we take the right direction. Let's start by reshuffling. At least they have to start somewhere. Believe me sincerely, in between now and the next day when we see changes, don't be surprised, we'll come here and singing the praises of the president and even convincing people to go out and vote.
But why would the NBC want to gag journalists? Is there anything that is...
You keep emphasizing on this particular issue.
You know why I'm saying this? Because we have citizens journalism.
Exactly.
But people are on the streets, people are seeing what is going on.
We are still talking. And that is why this decision will not see the light of the day.
At the end of the tunnel. Let me use the word at the end of the toilet. Is it toilet or tunnel?
Tunnel.
Next paper, please.
Thank you.
Daily Trust. Let's see what the Daily Trust has.
Yeah, we have captured the orders in the previous papers. I think here, wait here. Yes, FCT students sit work exams amid teachers strike. FCT students, federal colleges, FCT. Okay, FCT Abuja students sit work exams amid teachers strike. Wow, how can that be possible? Teachers are striking and the work exam is going.
So who's going to supervise?
Exactly. Who are invigilating the exam?
There will be probably an alleged malpractices everywhere, because some of these children are also prone to cheating. If we have a very porous WAEC examination, being organized.
That's also corruption. When a father decides to be bad, there is every likelihood for the child to also follow suit. They see what our leaders are doing. This corruption, no matter how small it is, still corruption. When you sit,
so corruption have spectators.
Exactly.
People watch.
The people watch
and copy.
Yes. So what the leaders.
So when our leaders do certain things, they should be mindful of the fact that they have spectators.
It will spiral down.
It spills over.
Exactly. So for some of these students that participate in exam malpractice, they are probably seeing what the people in position of leadership are doing. Corruption is corruption, whether it involves physical cash, whether it involves education, whatever it involves.
Corruption is corruption.
Corruption is corruption.
Yes. Okay, we have other right.
So Labour Party fixes April 28th for convention, unveils committee. Labour Party fixes April 28th for convention, unveils committee. So I understand that now the former Minister of Finance is now the chairman of the Labour Party, Nenadi Usman. In fact, the court has ruled that Abure will have to
step aside.
Yes, step aside and even pay a fine of 10 million naira. Yes, so it's good. Now that they have substantive leadership, that is why I think they are now fixing the date for the convention for April 28th. Then, despite intimidation, democracy will survive. Despite intimidation, democracy will survive, says the president. So the president still feels that he's being intimidated.
Well, they say despite intimidation, democracy will survive.
He wouldn't have said this. He wouldn't have.
The president is anybody threatening democracy in Nigeria? Is anybody intimidating democracy?
Not that. What he means is that coming together of all the political giants to try to plot to prevent him from securing his second-time bid, I think is what he's referring to as intimidation. Because this is the very first time that we are seeing a greater majority of the political actors across divide, across region, across religion, across tribes, across even party affiliation, coming together. Almost 70% of the strong hands, do you understand?
Yes.
Coming together as opposition, trying to unseat the incumbent administration. This is the very first time we are witnessing this in Nigeria.
The second time, I beg your pardon.
When was the first time?
Jonathan.
Yes, but if you remember, during
Jonathan also suffered.
I understand. It is similar to Jonathan's time, but the gravity.
The current president himself,
yes,
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with due respect, also formed a coalition.
We are not saying anything like yes.
I'm coming.
True, yes.
That was what gave birth to APC. It was a combination of the CPC and other parties that came together, ADC and the rest of them, and they came together to form APC.
I agree, but what I'm saying,
and that was what hosted out the
gravity this time around is very, very strong, because even during that time, there are still strong hands in the PDP that have not defected to the APC. Do you understand? But this time around, almost who is who across all parties are now moving en masse. So
when the president said democracy will survive despite intimidation, what is he trying to say? I'm trying to find out the import of that statement, because is he trying to say that him remaining in power means democracy is surviving, or what? I don't understand. Democracy is all about
voted out is still democracy.
That is what I'm saying.
If it's voted out,
it's still democracy. If he wins, it's still democracy.
In fairness to him, I will just interpret this to mean that election will take place, and a credible election. In fact, credible election will take place, and a winner will emerge, and whoever emerges as a winner will honorably, the decision will honorably respect.
But some will argue. Some people argue with you that
for democracy,
some people will argue that word credible.
Wait,
they will argue that word credible.
Finish.
Looking at the circumstances now that is, at the front burner, the issue of the INEC chairman, the issue of the electoral act.
They didn't allow me to laugh. That is why
I'm trying to guide you in the area of using the language credible. Nigerians are watching. When you say credible elections, some Nigerians will say, what do you mean by credible? When we are still trying to ensure that we have a seamless structure, institution on ground that is devoid of all forms of sentiment or bias, so we can have a very smooth election.
But that's now where I was driving at before you cut me short.
Okay, go ahead.
For this to happen, he has to also respond to the cause and yearning of Nigerians. For one, at least replace Amopitan with somebody. Amopitan first. Do you understand? And then restructure the INEC itself completely.
Unbundle it.
Amopitan might not have been working alone. He might have had his boys within the INEC itself.
So the INEC should be unbundled.
Restructured somehow. Do you understand? When you do this, at least you will give the people the confidence that yes, the president is taking steps and initiatives to ensure that the election that's going to take place come 2027 is going to be at least to some extent credible. But when you don't do that, and you keep insisting that this particular person will now have to be the umpire, then that statement carries no water.
Okay. El-Rufai to remain in custody till June. And I still want to talk about this issue of El-Rufai remaining in custody. You can see that without any hesitation.
Yes.
There is a reason why they are keeping El-Rufai.
Of course there is.
It is clear.
It's clear. And it is political.
Purely political.
Purely political. Honestly.
Purely political. Because
is Malami out or is still in custody?
Malami should be out.
Malami is out.
Yes.
Malami was arrested for corruption charges. Most of his corruption charges, at least, have been presented, and it is now still in court. But still, he was granted bail. For El-Rufai, they haven't clearly specified and found him wanting on that corruption charges.
Is there anything spectacular about El-Rufai?
There is. He is an enigma. I'm telling you, El-Rufai is a politician with wisdom, with capacity, with what the Gen Z will call steez. I'm telling you.
And composer.
Composer and intelligence. They know. El-Rufai is the only one person the president has come out publicly on an occasion, almost begged that Nasiru don't go until after my election. He was very, very key and instrumental in bringing this particular administration to power.
And he will not come down from the stage if he does not accept.
He is the brain behind bringing together these brilliant political heads to come and join ADC to make the ADC what it is today. El-Rufai, if he has a target, they know him that he will always have to achieve that target.
So do you see any possibility of him being granted bail June?
Like I told you, I said the body language of the
body order.
The body order is showing that they want this election to happen with El-Rufai in custody. They will keep shifting the goalpost. I'm telling you this.
Well, does it have any effects?
It does. No, it wouldn't, because the successes that the ADC is now achieving,
he has laid the foundation.
Despite the fact that he's still in custody. But then he's somebody that works ahead of time. El-Rufai is I was a civil servant in Kaduna State. I'm happy to have said that I served when he was a governor as a civil servant, and I was fully involved in implementing some of his policies, because I was one time an acting director in a Bureau of Public Service Reform. So I know we actually implemented most of his reforms, some of his reforms, particularly that has to do with public service reforms. That's the name of the agency I retired from, Bureau of Public Service Reform. So I know this is somebody that once he has an objective, once he has a goal, he always makes sure that he achieves it. And he works ahead of time. Things that we are thinking to do in the next 3 months, everybody have done it even 1 year ago. He just makes changes based on certain current exigencies. So somebody like that will always have to send shivers. So that is why I don't think this administration will allow this person to be out before they conduct the election.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that the ADC will not make successes, even despite the fact that it's in custody.
Like, okay, we are very hopeful that by June that he will be tried and granted bail while judgment continues. He came out at some point and said he's been receiving some form of subtle threats that issued.
Yes, that may be true. That may be true. That may not be true, because when you are put in such a position, you have to make differences and statements, at least to make the people aware that you are under detention or anything can possibly happen. So you understand. Even before now, he made statement to the effect that one poisonous gas had been imported. Do you understand? By the by the National Security Advisor. You remember that one? He made so many statements. And I think such bold statements are one of the traits, one of the qualities of El-Rufai. He knows how to make statements that will send shivers into you. They will make you to not to take certain decisions you are even planning to take.
So he's a threat. Let's go to the next newspaper. The Punch. Silver. 5 orders arraigned officers' wives seek justice.
Exactly.
Silver. 5 orders arraigned officers' wives seek
justice.
So this time around, Silver and 5 orders, and then the officers involved, allegedly involved in the coup.
Yes, the wives and the
children seeking for justice.
And they're seeking for justice. I think it's better. It's better. Retired General Police Inspector among 6 facing 13-count prison terrorism.
The Punch seems to have approached this issue from another angle. The other headlines were making us see that they are now, trying to see the 13-count charges. Likely going to undergo some form of prosecution. The Punch is coming from a different point of view and saying that they are seeking justice.
Yes.
Okay. I hope justice will be
served. Part of seeking justice, I think, for them to be tried appropriately, because when you keep detaining them without even trying them, it's very, very, very unpleasant for the family. I'll come up and see El-Rufai again. You see what I mean? El-Rufai may miss ADC presidential primary. So any key political activity, they will make sure that El-Rufai does not participate in it.
So is that one of the targets?
This is one of the targets.
What can
he can't do a lot. He can help in determining who picks the ticket, who picks the ticket. As it is now, the whole ADC is in disarray. Do you understand? But he has this kind of unifying force around him. He can be able.
Can't he do that when he's in detention?
Is it not everybody that will allow you to see when you are in detention? Even your family members.
But we just said it now that he has made the structure. That is running on rails now for him.
They can deny him access to any visitors. They may censor the kind of visitors that will visit him.
But he has laid the foundation now.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. But there are new developments. Do you know that El-Rufai ever anticipated people like Konkoso coming into the party, even people like Peter Obi? I can remember one of his statements even before he was arrested. He was making the statement to the effect that very soon the ADC will become so strong that it will be like, he made an analogy or parable like that. To explain that parable, maybe he was giving the impression that the ADC will become a party that will have every great Nigerian politician in it. And this is what we see happening today. Because when you see the people around the president today, you will see that not many of them are very thick political actors in the country. Most of them are new politicians and young people. They're all politicians. People that we call redneck in politics across the region are already in the ADC. People like David Mark, people like Konkoso, people like Peter Obi, people like Atiku Abubakar. Do you understand? So many of them, people like former Sokoto State Governor and former Speaker of House of Reps, Tambuwan. So many of them are there.
Even the factions of the PDP, the likes of Turaki and
Turaki are all there.
And Bala Mohammed is saying, my brothers are in the,
he's trying to come there. I think the only person that missed the boat is former Kano State Governor Shekaro. And that is because him and Konkoso do not normally see eye to eye. They can hardly belong in the same house. Otherwise, his initial body movement has also shows that he wanted to be there.
Let's go up there. We have another rider there that's very, very... No. Go down, up. Yes, zoom it a bit.
PDP crisis. Court move against Anyanwu and INEC chair. So you see, at least the government is now hearkening to the voice of the nation.
They should hearken because the people are.
So I'm happy that
the people are resolute this time around to ensure that.
That is why we have to continue talking, and that is why the NBC is not happy.
You are talking and NBC is telling you don't talk.
Hey, but we are still talking, and government is still taking action. Remember, it's not only you and me here in this platform. There are other Nigerian broadcasters that are broadcasting this kind.
And we are in a generation where talking is big business.
Exactly. When you have mouth, you have big market. So So I'm happy that the government is saying the truth now and listening. And I love to see government listen. Do you understand? I love to see government. We have nothing against the incumbent administration. Our only concern with it is policies and the way it is being they are being implemented, isn't it?
Yes.
But we are now seeing that they are taking steps in the right direction.
Adelabu may resign after Tinubu's meeting.
Oyo 2027. Adelabu may resign after Tinubu meeting. So it is like a feels there is going to be a meeting to take place between them and Tinubu, something like that.
Okay, let's go down and see what we have there. Okay, down a bit. Okay, zoom in a bit. Let's see.
More PDP reps defect to APC and ADC. More PDP reps defect to APC and ADC. So it seems as if the only party that's losing this time around is the PDP, more than any other political party.
Politicians are weighing their options now.
Exactly. The calibration.
Yes, the calibration and the marketing.
Reshuffling.
The marketing and chances.
The packaging.
You know, there are some parties where ADCs, you know, the ADC tsunami is going to affect.
Exactly.
The last Labour Party tsunami that happened, that brought in the likes of Kinjibe as senator, that brought in some...
Likely going to repeat itself?
Yes, it's going to repeat itself.
I can see that happen.
Yes, the OK movement now that is gathering momentum. I hope you are aware of the OK movement. That
which I said is very okay.
Very well. I'm not aware.
I am. You are aware because I'm setting it in front of you here.
That is why we are where we were.
Yesterday, one of my friends called me. He said he listened to a discussion. He's not happy with me. Why am I saying that I'm okay with that okay arrangement? I said, you are entitled to your view. I have never called you to tell you that I'm not happy with your own.
Oh, he watched you?
Exactly. I told him that, look, I still belong to that school that you know, that believes that power should rotate from region to region. It's only on that basis that I'm okay with that okay arrangement. Honestly speaking.
Let's not go there.
So see here, Abure vows appeal after court okays Usman as LP chair. Then the Usman is a former minister of finance under Obasanjo, under Goodluck Jonathan, who has been confirmed to be now the substantive Labour Party chairperson. So I think the other paper even said that Obure was fined to the tune of 10 million naira. So now at least the Labour Party leadership tussle has been put to rest.
You can see that the issue of killing just came up on a lighter note here, where they say gunmen kill female officer in Oyo Highway ambush. Female man-over officer.
It's still sad.
And
very young woman that's just starting her life. You can see how young she is. Oh, may her soul rest in peace.
Amen.
We pray we see an end to all these killings and maiming and bombing and insurgency and banditry in this country.
All right, let's go to the next newspaper, please. The last newspaper for today, sports.
My favorite girls.
The Tigress.
The Tigress, yeah.
What's happening to them now?
They get tricky World Cup draw. The Tigress gets tricky World Cup draw. So I don't know.
You know, they qualified for the female World Cup basketball championship.
Okay.
And they are going to segment them into groups.
Okay.
And the draws is about to happen, and they're likely to get a favorable, tricky one, mixture of both favorable and a tricky one. They're going to play some heavyweights, basketball heavyweights.
Some easy chop and some difficult contenders.
Yes, and they're most likely that will also gain them qualifications to the knockout stages.
Okay, the female football team is also there. Falcon moved up in the latest FIFA rankings. Falcon.
Our girls are doing us proud they're doing us proud.
The likes of Aziza,
Shwala,
Perpetua, the uncle.
Yes, making us proud as a nation. Okay, that'll be all for the newspaper review this morning, Mr. Shaibu. And which one do you think is the most catchy, headline for you this morning?
This is the reshufflement.
reshufflement.
Administration will go.
You're very hopeful. You're very hopeful it's going to yield results.
I'm happy that the government is now listening to Nigerians and starting to do the right things. Yes.
Okay.
Because the reshufflement are always, you see, the Constitution allows that. Section 147 and 148 allows the president to, from time to time, look back at the administration and then make necessary changes here and there with a view to finding effectiveness and good governance.
Well, we are very hopeful, and let's be very hopeful that this reshuffling is, is a right step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Looking at the fact that some might argue with you that election is just by the corner. So what impact would this make? Then that has not been made for the past 3 years.
It will.
Some might also argue that
it will make.
Well, as I said, it's a different angles from different.
Always be hopeful. Always be hopeful. Anything,
I'm not saying I'm not hopeful.
Can happen at any time. It can still have some impact, meaningful impact for that matter.
What of the meaning of Ministry of Power?
I told you.
Can we get steady before elections?
When you are trying to make changes,
can we get steady power before elections?
Start somewhere, please. Starting somewhere and starting late is better than not starting at all.
Okay. Starting somewhere is better than starting late and not starting at all.
Starting somewhere,
yes,
is better than not starting at all.
Okay. That'll be all for the newspaper review this morning, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Please, in case you want to find out more information making the round, you can approach any newspaper stand, grab a copy of the newspaper, and then go through it and find more details. This is PMB Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is Tichidi Kenneth. We'll be right back after this time. And when we return, we shall dive straight in to the topic of the day. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after this time out. Welcome back. This is PMB Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. All right, this morning we shall be diving into the issue of minor shake-up in the cabinet. The minor cabinet reshuffle and a nation with a bleeding economy. That is what we're going to be looking at today. Okay, Mr. Shaibu, once again, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, the president, in his wisdom, has made a quick and little cabinet reshuffle with a bid to reject the economy. The removal of the Minister of Finance, Mr. Edum, who on his removal was the coordinating minister of the nation's economy. This is coming at a time when so many reports are appearing unfavorable, both on paper and in reality. Nigerians are not smiling. Nothing seems to be working. Quality of life is dropping drastically. Could this be a late wake-up call to fixing the economy? Or is the reshuffling rather too late, considering the fact that we are fast approaching another election year in Nigeria? Is this move a smart one or a weak one? Is this mere politics or a genuine attempt to revamp the economy? Okay. Mr. Shaibu, questions begging for answer.
Exactly.
Shoot.
Thank you, Mr. CK, for giving me the opportunity to speak my mind here.
Thank you very much, sir.
I always say, whatever I speak, my opinion, I will also have so millions of Nigerians that are sharing that opinion along with me. You asked whether it's an effort too late, too little. First, I am a person that always believes in possibilities. Like I tell you,
very hopeful.
I'm always hopeful in things. So I told you initially that it is better to start somewhere and start late rather than not starting at all. Do you understand? And then it is always good to have a listening government. People in position of authority should be able to listen to the complaints, the cries, the hues and cries of their citizens. And I see doing that is a signal to Nigerians that the president is now finally beginning to listen. When we talk against him personally as an individual, as a leader, and when we talk against his administration, it doesn't mean that we don't like him or that we don't like his administration. It's simply that we don't like his policies and the way they are being implemented because they are not helping Nigerians and they are not helping Nigeria. Do you understand? But taking that step toward reshuffling is a signal to Nigerians that yes, the president is now beginning to listen. And then again, what he's doing is just simply exercising his power in line with the Constitution, the provision of the Constitution of Section 147 and 148 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Constitution
as amended
1999 as amended, which gives him the right from time to time to review his cabinet and then to make the changes here and there. But one of the reasons they gave for doing that is one, I think I list some of them. It is in order to strengthen cohesion, synergy in governance, and to bring more impactful service delivery on the economy. And if you remember, about 4 days ago in one of our discussions, I told you that whenever you see leaders take wrong decisions and implement wrong policies, it might be, in most cases, it might be as a result of advices given to them by their advisors and their ministers.
But the area that is interesting me more is the issue of the service delivery.
Yes.
Now, you say one of the reasons why issues like this or reshufflings like this, you know, or shake-ups like this, as it were, is necessary is because of, you know, to try to ensure
that there is in place a very efficient and effective machinery.
But I will argue with you in less than 8 months.
Yeah?
Is that possible in less than 8 months?
No, you can. Governance is.
There will be another election, which by now nobody can really tell.
You also ask whether this is a political move.
Yes.
It's also a political move. Because they know that if they don't begin to do the right thing, the way Nigerians are agitating and crying and protesting, if they don't do the right thing, they may likely be voted out of power.
But is the political move going to make the desired result? Is it going
Whether it will or will not remains to be seen.
So why making it when you don't know when?
No, I'm not saying it's
that's my own argument anyway.
No, you can't even say, you can't preempt them like that.
I was just feeling like, okay, 8 months is just rather too short.
No. No. It depends on who is coming in. Remember that.
What magic is that? Whoever is coming in, what magic is going to perform?
Wait a minute. Remember that Edun was also very much strong. Very, a key part of bringing in that unpleasant, unfriendly tax policies. Do you understand? So if the next person that is coming will be able to advise the president against, sir, let's review that tax reform. Even if it was going back to the National Assembly to review it. You can do this thing. The president has absolute power. The last time I was telling you that there's no president in this world that has ample amount of power like the Nigeria and the USA presidents. That's probably because we are copying totally
the presidential system of government of the United States.
American presidential system of government, which is pretty expensive, but then it allows the president absolute power. So that 8 months to a president in Nigeria or America is not a small period of time. Believe you me, things can be able to happen. Do you understand? So that is why, because I'm always hopeful, and this even goes further to tell you that Nigerians are not against this administration or against the person of the president himself. That's why we are happy. And that's why we are now singing his praise today.
Yeah, and your mandate shall stand.
Forget about that. Let him do the right thing. It's not too late to start. Believe me sincerely. It's not too late. It is important.
So this move now is a right step in the right direction?
It's a right step, although it is politically motivated.
Why is it politically motivated? Because it's what you are always interested in timing.
Exactly.
Don't you think that the timing now is wrong?
Sometimes the timing.
We're talking of January, December.
Exactly. It is the timing that gives me the impression that it's politically motivated. That is because if I don't do this thing right today, at least let me be able to change few things that
so the political motivation will directly outweighs the intention. Because some might also argue with you that probably this was done to rejig or revamp the economy.
Exactly.
But can they already be revamped? No, the economy that is bleeding so much so that we're losing $10 billion on exports alone. Economy that is bleeding so much so that the World Bank report 3 days ago states, and I quote, that Nigeria, treasury has been looted so much so about 34.5 trillion naira on pre-distribution deductions.
All these are true. Do you understand?
So what more
even the timing is wrong. But the fact that it is being started, it is being kick-started, is good enough. It's better than not starting at all. And like I tell you, have confidence, be hopeful that at least certain amount of sanity can be done, can be.
But I've had enough confidence for the past 3 years, and they have.
In 8 months, something positive can come out of
in a complex economy like Nigeria.
It can, believe me, it can. Your problem is that you are
being realistic?
You're a pessimist. I'm an optimist.
I'm not a pessimist.
Honestly,
I'm not a pessimist. I
agree. There are so many Nigerians that are
no, I'm not a pessimist.
There are so many Nigerians that are
okay, now look at this. This is coming at a time when so many reports are appearing unfavorable both on paper and in reality.
It is the report
about the people.
It is the reports and the voices of people like you and I that is making the government to now start taking action. It is better to take action than not to take action at all. That is what I'm telling you. Please try to understand.
Well,
it's not like you now here sitting down. You see a crack starting to happen in your house. People are advising you, do this, you refuse. And it's just all over like 4 months to rent now. Do you understand? And you know that if you allow this crack to continue, by the time the rent has come, this house will fall down. But now at the long, almost 3 months to time, you decided to now mend those parts of that.
Mr. Shaibu, Nigerians are not smiling.
The house.
Mr. Shaibu, listen, Nigerians are not smiling.
Especially me.
Nothing seems to be working. Quality of life is dropping drastically.
I agree.
Now, the question I want to ask you, could this be a late wake-up call to fixing the economy?
I don't. You are acting like a lawyer today. I don't know why you are trying to press me to do that. I keep telling you. You want me to say it's late, but honestly speaking, I cannot say it's late. Because a man who believes in timing. I know.
No, I always tell you as one who prides himself to the timing philosophy. Now, we are not
philosophy is not cast in stone. There are exceptions to every rule. We are talking about an initiative taken by a president that is intended to achieve good. If we keep saying no, the time is late, even if you have some other intentions to do good, you will say, even if I take this decision, Nigerian will say it's too late.
So what do you think about
hope? Now, a
doom is out.
Yes.
A junior minister is not a substantial minister.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
That is probably because certain qualities have been seen in him. It is those qualities that have already been seen in him that they appoint him as deputy minister or as junior minister. Do you understand? So I still believe within this 8 months, Oyedele and his team will be able to advise the president positively to take certain quick decisions. Do you understand? That can at least impact on the life of the citizenry. For example, now, if this taxation law reform can be reviewed, do you understand? It can make so many things easy. Then maybe revisit the fuel pricing something. Do you understand? Sit down with Ongote, sit down with the officials of the NNPC, discuss, bring down the Minister of Petroleum Resources, CEO, what do we do to ameliorate the suffering of the people, at least regarding local domestic prices of fuel in Nigeria? The world is suffering from the high price of fuel, but we are an oil producing country, and we have a private refinery here in Nigeria. Ongote, what do you want from us? Do you understand?
Well, we keep talking about Dangote's refinery. What happens to Port Harcourt and Cabinet Refinery and the rest of them?
Within that short time, that's when we come to the timing issue. Within this short time, we cannot be able to take care of all our refineries. But there's already an operational refinery, although private, that we can assist in helping Nigerians through this world crisis to at least improve the price of fuel. If these two things can be done to Nigerians, believe me, Nigerians will start to see the president and his administration in a different light.
So there's light at the end of the tunnel, is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Because like I say, Nigerians are not against APC, Nigerians are not against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigerians are only against the policies and the way they are being implemented that is bringing hardship and exposing Nigerians to greater poverty. That is just the problem.
Now, let me tell you, Mr. Brian, one of the sectors of the economy that works hand in hand, pari passu with the Ministry of Finance is power.
Exactly.
Now, some may argue with you that this reshuffling, or rather, let's use the word sack, that is rather too small, too late. That if the country, you cannot For you to be able to separate oranges and apples, you have to be able to approach, them hook, line, and sinker head on. Somebody also said to you that, okay, now we are now talking about finance. Finance Minister Edom Levin, how about power? Because,
you're right.
How about power? Because these two work hand in hand, like I said earlier on. So, what do you make out of that? What do you have to say? Because that is why I said, we saw the Minister of Power, is it available? Coming to apologize. What's his name again?
Is available?
Yes, coming to apologize to Nigerians that, and sources have it that the presidential villa is using solar energy.
Solar is no longer connected to the national grid, I think.
The grid has been asked to.
What happened? What happened to our refineries? It's exactly what happened to the grid.
Now you can see why I said these are all, factors that are responsible for the strengthening of our economy.
Exactly.
And now we are seeing the Minister of Finance, Edom, being laid aside. Some might argue, let's also see Minister of Power and other very key, ministries.
That's why I disappointed. Instead of looking at power, he decided to look at housing, Minister of Housing.
You understand now? Now, how do you Minister of Housing and Minister of Finance, what's that combination? What relevance does it have?
80% of Nigerians do not even know what is happening about the housing ministry. It's always the elite and people that have certain connections that always benefit from the activities of Ministry of Housing and Urban Development.
They don't even understand what's going on.
They don't even understand. Yes, for me now, I have never even paid attention to know who is the Minister of Urban and Housing and Urban Planning, because it hardly impacts people's life directly. So, like you said, I agree with you. You should have looked at.
I'm happy you agree with me now.
I do. It is not always that we fall apart. There are sometimes we reason together and agree. Yes, I also I would have also appreciated if he had also considered replacing the Minister of Power, who keeps on promising to people and then keep on failing them, and then probably Minister of this thing.
More so that the president made an emphatic
even
statement. Made an emphatic statement during his last election campaigns. Before he became president.
Exactly.
That in any means necessary, he's going to make power.
Exactly.
And that if he doesn't do that,
exactly.
And when he returns for second term,
don't vote him.
Don't vote for me. In fact, there is a song trending everywhere in respect to that comment. Now, this is almost 4 years. You are removing power and housing. Instead of power, you are removing finance
and housing.
Instead of removing finance,
instead of removing power, then bringing in somebody that you believe can do at least something. You understand? It's true.
You give each home a lithium battery of 5 kg. I will take over 5. What stops us from having a bilateral deal with China, and all homes will be supplied with lithium batteries and solar, at least for the very, very, very menial and very meager, very small rate.
Exactly.
And then we have it.
They can do all this within 8 months. So I'm telling you.
We can use that to cushion the electricity effect while we wait for the national grid to get out of its drunkenness. So I don't know why the national grid will keep collapsing. Is it drunk?
So anyway,
I had a comic relief about the national grid. Somebody said it is made out of bamboo tree.
I don't even know.
Because every time it's collapsing.
He might have said something to have made that statement.
And I'm saying that the national grid
always
is drunk.
Always collapsing.
Nigeria
here, just Niger here, are having steady power supply. Just Niger here, our neighbor, whom I believe in the past, I think we used to provide.
So we give them light.
We used to provide them, I think.
We used to give them light?
I don't know. That's why.
They will give Ghana light.
Exactly, Ghana. There are some other African countries.
So we are giving what we don't have.
We have, but we can't use it. Just like petrol now. We have petrol now.
And we are buying at 150.
And we are buying it more expensive than even some other countries that don't even have the oil. There was a time this young Hausa man in Libya, he is telling Nigerians, he's describing them. He put 25 liters of jerrycan. He's telling Nigerians, I saw the video, that look, in Libya, this whole gallon, if you change the amount in dinar, the amount of money that I buy it, 25 liters, is less than 25 naira of Nigerian money. 25 liters of petrol. See the comparison. But here in Nigeria, we have fuel even more than Libya, I think. but you are still wallowing in poverty, in difficulties. We can't even afford to buy the fuel.
Our cars are packed.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
And now you are coming here to tell me that somebody is going to revamp this economy.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Let him start. It's good that he's starting. Initially,
I want to see the president by the end of today. By the end of business,
you know how I see it.
By EOB today, I want to see the president retiring so many ministers.
Hopefully, it may happen.
Minister of Power.
Before I see this headline, do you know the kind of mentality I have about the president? That is somebody that doesn't listen. It's somebody that doesn't care. But seeing this achievement, seeing this...
So you are saying that somebody advised him to do this?
Exactly.
So why didn't advise him to do that on other sectors that are other key sectors?
See, he's just starting. We haven't yet seen his plans unravel completely. He's just starting. Whatever you do, you can't just start a whoop and go like that. You start from somewhere and then reach somewhere. What kind of person are you? Are you pessimistic like that?
I'm talking of 8 months. You have jettisoned the idea of timing. Mr. Shaibu, you have jettisoned it. The timing you so profess, you so preach about, you have jettisoned it this morning.
But no, I didn't, because I say it's political.
If this move was made, excuse me now, Mr. Ibrahim, 3 years plus, nobody advised the president that the economy is not moving. Exactly. 8 months to time.
Probably so. But now I think the scales have fallen off his eyes. He began to hear, he began to see what Nigerians are seeing, what Nigerians are saying. Then
after the World Bank report, the same World Bank, you don't even rely on the reports. For
the first time, they are doing something positive. But like I tell you, it may be a gimmick too.
That's what I say. Is it politics? Is it my politics or a genuine attempt to reform?
It's also politics. It's politics. The fact that it is politics, there's no gainsaying the fact that it is political. Yes. I have never denied that. It's political. Aim at cleaning up his messes before the election.
Now, the last time we spoke, the last time we spoke,
yes,
we're trying to bring out the certain indices that are bedeviling the country, as it were.
Yeah.
And you made me to understand that the next election, what is going to vote or play out is the hunger,
exactly,
bad electricity,
exactly,
and other,
biting fuel prices,
sickness,
poverty.
In fact, there is a video,
killings, insurgency,
there's a video I'm going to play in my next program where you see a girl crying, in a state and Nyocha North local government. You could see a very, is a write-off. I don't know which word to qualify that building. And that building is what is referred to as healthcare center. No nurse, no drug, nothing.
Facilities.
And Nyocha North.
Which state is that?
Well, the guy did not mention the state because I do know we have a Nyocha North in Anambra State. I think we still have in Delta State also. Okay. So, but I was waiting for her to mention the state, but she was emphasizing more.
Throughout the video, she didn't mention the state.
Yes, she was just saying Nyocha North, which I think I'm not too sure. But I think, yes, I think Anambra, Delta. Yes, because I know we have Nyocha in both of the states. But I don't know if there is north or south. But I think it should be Anambra State. You need to see that building. Ricketing, dead,
ramshackled.
It is not a place you can keep goods.
But that's what is considered to be primary health care center.
That is a primary health care center. The nurse that was sent there, a single nurse, ran away.
Hi. And
there is a royal father in that community, a local government chairman in that community, and nothing is happening.
Yeah, that's what we like in this country, leadership. Honestly speaking, we have very, very, very.
And now we are talking about
carefree
leadership. If we must fix this economy, a lot of people have to go. In all honesty, apologizing to us is not a way to solve the problem.
You can't speak like this.
Are you saying that what Minister of Power should remain?
No, honestly, no. Not only power, so many ministries. Even agriculture.
That's another aspect.
Exactly. Even agriculture.
One seems not to be hearing what's going on in agriculture.
Nothing is happening in the Ministry of Agriculture. Nothing. You can listen to news for 1 week. You can hardly hear any activity going on in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture.
So docile and quiet.
They are just quiet.
Austered out.
Exactly. Just quiet, not any activity. But remember, some of these ministers have alluded to the fact that even the budgetary allocation approved for them has not been released to them.
Since 2025.
Since 2025. So what do you expect them to do actually? The monies are somewhere lagging, sitting down.
They should think out of the box.
Exactly. They cannot think out of the box because
whatever the box is not even there.
It's not all ministries that are revenue generating ministries. You understand that?
Like Minister of Education.
Exactly. No, Minister of Education generates revenue.
Huge revenue.
Yes. JAM.
Interior does.
Places like JAM, they are all part of the Ministry of Education.
What of the universities? What of the tuition fees?
Federal universities generate revenue.
What of the tuition fees?
Exactly. So that's why I say education is a revenue generating ministry. But see, in this administration, the moment you generate revenue, you have to send it directly to what they call TSA account. It doesn't even sit with them. You understand? So the monies are not in the center. They cannot access it. They can only access it when the policy education has been approved for them. Kagani. So that is why no activity is happening in all those ministries. No activities at all. And that is why people are looking at this government as, what's happening to this government?
Okay, now let's go back to Mr. Edum. Now we have Oyedele, who was at some point was the junior minister and minister of state.
Yeah.
Now the substantial minister of finance.
And integration, economy.
So what's the experience like to man this kind of sensitive position?
I didn't have the time to check his resume. Beside the fact that he was somebody that is good in the financial world, according to some statement made by some people, but I haven't seen his resume, so I cannot actually speak of his pedigree.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu, I can see that this issue of moving the minister and trying to reshuffle the cabinet, you have made your own opinion.
Exactly.
Position known.
It's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right direction, according to you. Well, let's be very hopeful, like you said, that in this short period of time, something can be done. Is there any other thing you want to say about this reshuffling?
Yes, of course. Just like you have suggested, just like I have also agreed with you, it's not only the Minister of Finance that should be involved in this reshuffling. There are also key head of agencies, like the INEC itself, like the NBC. You understand? There are key. I'm telling you, because
Amit Putan should go.
Amit Putan should go. And then there are other ministries also whose impact Nigerians are not feeling at all. People don't even know what is happening in those places.
Agriculture?
There seems to be no activity in those areas.
Power?
Like agriculture, particularly power. Power is somebody that always come and make promises.
And he has apologized.
Why will you keep apologizing to us? Let us see action. It's just like your son. Every day will make you commit an offense. I will say, Baba, I'm sorry. Let me see that you have repented. Let me see action now. That one is a deceiver self. Those people that we don't even hear anything about them, they are even better. This one that you keep apologizing for us, you are deceiving. You are taking us for a fool, for fools. Sorry, because we are a generation. You are taking us for fools. So power should also go. Do you understand? Let him just consider seriously. It's not even a matter of reshuffling now. I think some people just have to go, because when you say reshuffle, you are trying to shift CK from here to here, from there to there.
From MCR to...
Exactly.
From presenter to MCR.
Exactly. So what we want to see is when CK
should get out.
Get out.
And Josie should come in.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Shai. Any other thing before we wrap it up on this? Okay. This is where we are going to wrap it up on the issue of reshuffling, or will I say the way
Cabinet Reshufflement.
The way some newspaper captured it, sack
and axe.
Well, as you have some have argued that it's the right move in the right direction.
Of course.
Some are also differ that even though the move might be commendable by the president, it shows that he's listening. However, some might also say that the timing is too short, because considering the level of decay that has eating deep into the economy. System. People are hungry
and angry.
Nigerians are not smiling,
especially me.
So when
every time you see me smile, that smile is only from I just patted my lips so that I can see my teeth, but deep inside I'm crying.
So you can see that but you're hopeful.
Yes, I'm hopeful because I'm a human being. You understand? I can't think negatively all the time.
It's not negative. I just hope that I just hope to believe that your hopes will come alive.
That remains to be seen.
But like you said, I'm pessimistic.
I'm still hopeful. I'm still optimistic.
I'm not a pessimistic person.
I belong to the optimism school of thought.
I'm not a pessimist. All right, thank you very much. All right, we'll be going on a short break on the PMB Morning Show. And when we return, we dive straight into the second topic for today. Thank you very much. To stay tuned. We shall be right back after this timeout. All right, welcome back. This is the PMB Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is Tichili Kenneth, and I still have with me my co-host, Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu, welcome back from the short break. And now we are going straight to another topic, another boiling topic this time around, and it has to do with the economy. Now, economy is a lifeline of any developed nation. If properly managed, it reflects in the well-being of its citizens. But when it bleeds, the reverse is the case. Here we are looking at a bleeding economy and the ripple effect on its citizens. With reference to Nigeria, reports have it that Nigeria is losing about $10 billion leakages on exports alone, and yet people are going through untold hardship. This has raised serious concerns on the ability of government to coordinate the economy and give the people quality life. The question is, what went wrong? Where are the experts? What needs to be done? These are many questions, Mr. Shaibu, begging for answers. What went wrong? Let's look at it. $10 billion on exports alone.
Every year.
On a bleeding economy.
Year in, year out. You see, the Nigerian sport were originally designed to a kind of drive trade and economic growth. But recently, now, over the years, it is increasingly facilitating untracked resources, extraction, and revenue loss. We see our resources being taken out there wrongly without actually following some of the export procedures. And this is why it is now leading to dwindling forest earning and weak industrial base. Losing $10 billion, not naira, $10 billion annually to this is considered wastages. And that is because certain things are not being done appropriately or rightly. Just recently, you remember, in order to reform those sports, during our president visit to England, a deal was struck and huge amounts of money were released in order to improve those sports. And those ports were only ports that are located in Lagos. You understand? So if we can go out of our way to go start borrowing money from foreign lenders just in order to improve those things, and then keep losing almost $10 billion annually, this shows inefficiencies in export system and maritime governance. And that needs to be improved. Because if it is not improved, if sanity is not brought into bear, in fact, by next year, instead of losing $10 billion, we'll be seeing lost and wastages or even between $20 to $25 billion annually. And this is the situation we are calling upon the government to look into and work over.
Okay, you're calling the government to look into and work over, but some may also ask some questions that, where are the experts? We have so many intelligent and brilliant economists in this country, and those ones who can also look at, what is responsible for these losses.
Exactly.
Now, when we talk about exports, we're talking about even crude.
Yes. Yeah. You see, parts of those money, at least over 1.5 billion metric tons of cargo annually, it leaves these shores. That is excluding non-oil sector, excluding non-oil exports. 1.5 billion metric ton. So this shows you that the amount of money we are supposed to be gaining should by far outweigh the amount of money we are losing. But contrary is the case. So I think corruption is one of the reasons why we are registering this enormous amount of loss. And then failure in perfect maritime administration and governance is also another reason. So that is why we are calling on the government to revisit the system. Also, if there is need for what you call reshufflement, for reshufflement to be done in the maritime and blue economy.
Okay, Nigerians are, when the economy is good, it reflects in the life and well-being of the people. But when the economy is bad, the economy is bleeding, the reverse is the case.
Exactly.
You understand me? Now it is obvious, just like we had in one of the statements made by, the revered Sultan of Sokoto.
Sokoto, yes.
I said we should not pretend anymore. Things are bad.
Things are really bad.
So what do you have to say, looking at what's your take, what's your analysis about, this current economy that is bleeding? Because you said the hunger will be the one to vote. Exactly.
I will keep emphasizing the same fact. We need policy revisiting. Let's go back to our policy, particularly policies that have to do with human capital development. Let's not put emphasis for now, in this first tenure of this administration, the emphasis should have not been on capital project development. It should have been in human capital development. Infrastructures are good, but they do not put food on the table. The initial approach of governance should have been development of human capital. You understand?
Or you don't put table on the food.
No, I said infrastructural development, like roads. You understand? Like building of universities. You understand? Will not put food on the table. But when you start creating employment, making business environment, creating an enabling business environment for the youth. Do you understand? Providing, breaking down the prices of petroleum resources so that people can be able to buy petrol to use. Improving power. All these things can translate to human capital development. Because the ordinary Nigerian, when he can be able to buy a gallon of petrol, put it into his, I pass my neighbor generator, and then operate his barbing shop, the Nigerian will be comfortable. You understand? So
better to give him good light, power supply.
Exactly. These are small examples. Or provide power so that he may not even need to go and buy the petrol in the first place. Then empower youths with grants, loans, so that they can be able to establish themselves in businesses. Improve the primary healthcare facilities for communities, so that people, particularly the downtrodden one, can afford at least to be provided with paracetamol, flagyl. And what do we drink for? What do we take for this our malaria issues? Now many Nigerians are suffering from malaria. Amatem. But you are just giving me an example behind the scene that you watch a lady post a video in a healthcare facility that looks like
a poultry house.
You can imagine that. So I think once the economy is not working, Nigerians will always keep on shouting and crying.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, now you're talking about the economy not working and Nigerians keep shouting and crying. Now we are losing $10 billion on exports alone. Could that be, does that spell well for us as a nation? What do you think we can do? Where are the experts? What can we do to cushion this whole thing? Because now, recently, we had the World Bank coming to make both statements that 34.5 trillion naira was
Yes.
missing from our treasury.
Another
Now, hearing all this money, trillion naira, $1 billion, and then we keep hearing these figures,
exactly,
and it does not translate into the ordinary well-being of the citizen.
Honestly, it's taking its toll on Nigerians. Well, I'm not an expert on maritime activities. I'm also not an expert in finance. But I think part of the reason why we're making those huge losses is, one, because of misinvoicing and undervaluation. I read somewhere that between $15 to $18 billion are lost annually, again, just for this inefficiency of misinvoicing and undervaluation around the port activities. So you ask whether what can be advanced as suggestion toward alleviating that. I think, one, there is need for sweeping reform and strong regulations to guide the maritime activity. Of course, there are regulations, but let's tweak around with the regulations. Let's see them work for Nigeria. Then secondly, also, I think there's need for engaging in full digital integration of maritime operations. Things that are hitherto done manually should be electronized, should be digitalized. Because, sometimes, particularly in public service, there are things that we do as civil servant, we don't want any improvement there, because by the time you bring digital or electronics help, you are trying to block certain things. So the workers will prepare, no, don't digitalize this.
Let's do it manually.
Let's do it manually. Because doing it manually will allow them to abuse the system, will allow corruption to happen. So I think one of the reasons is that they should make sure that everything around our maritime activities is fully digitalized.
Now that the president has reshuffled the Minister of Finance, you can now see when I say other sectors of the economy should also be,
exactly
touched.
Exactly.
Now,
exactly. Like the blue marine economy.
Yes.
Yes. Trade and blue marine economy, because these activities are under the Ministry of Trade and blue marine economy.
So what's your take on that?
Yes, these are what I'm telling you now. Full digitalization, sweeping reforms and strong regulatory oversight, and then finally maybe deliberate policies to promote local value addition. I think if government can do this, the professional will advise more, but I think with these three, as a layman, I think we can avoid the huge amount of money that we are losing annually.
So Minister of Trade should come in now.
Exactly. These are the maritime
trade and investments.
Exactly. Minister of Trade and blue marine economy.
Okay, and now we are saying that
yes,
not just a doom should go.
No, we can't say the Minister of Blue Trade should also go. No,
$10 billion we are losing.
Yes. These are people that you need to sit down with, talk with them. If they deserve to go, let them go.
You need to talk
because
the figures are talking.
Honestly speaking, if there's a report like that, him too should go.
But the figures are talking.
The maritimes are directly under him, and the Nigerian Port Authority, they are all responsible. They are all under this ministry.
The figures are there. You're not hiding $10 billion.
And it's
that's
I think, like I said,
that's enough to.
Like I said earlier, if we don't implement these measures, believe me sincerely, by next year we'll be seeing loss of not $10 billion, but maybe something slightly higher up, probably 13, 14, 15 billion dollars, and this is a great loss to Nigeria.
Well, okay, go ahead.
And then there is we need to also improve our local capital capacity. Let's not just rely solely on the activities of maritime itself. Those monies that have been given in UK to revamp this port, it shouldn't have been just Lagos port that will be used to be renovated. There are ports in so many states of the south states, like Port Harcourt, like Calabar. Let's also consider those ones as well. But restricting every development in the ports to Lagos alone, I think is not thinking in the right direction.
So you are calling for diversification, and the government should diversify by way of spread. Trying to consider other areas that we have
other regions. Exactly.
Delta State, we have in Akwa Ibom, we have in you see, we have, I think somewhere around the north we have somewhere, I don't know.
No, we don't have any. What we have in the north is dry port, the one in Kaduna. We don't, so it's different matter entirely, that one. But since the monies were taken because we want to improve our ports, let's not just make it Lagos ports. Because the body language of the government is showing that all this money will be used just to improve ports domiciled in Lagos alone. This is very, very unfair. And that is what gives for people the idea, the impression that this administration is only busy trying to develop Lagos. All its attention is on Lagos alone. Maybe probably because he came from Lagos. This is what people are looking at. This is what people are thinking. You can't take huge amount of money like that from foreign donors and then begin to think that you will only develop Lagos alone. Money that will have been enough to at least improve 1 or 2 ports in other regions as well.
All right, $10 billion leakages. What does that tell you? Corruption? As
I already spelled that out to you, it's corruption.
What advice do you have for the anti-graft agencies? They should swing into action to things because these things they are traceable.
Let the National Assembly do their duty. Let them invite the minister and any other top government agency that is involved in the running of those ports. We shouldn't just jump to start.
Because leakages, as it were, means money missing on trays.
Let the National Assembly that are taking huge amount of money from the taxpayers' money as salaries and allowances, let them do their job appropriately. Let them invite the Minister of Trade and Marine Economy as well as all other top government agency leadership under that ministry to come and make explanation as to why we are losing huge amount of money on our ports.
As part of the oversight functions?
Exactly, as part of the oversight functions.
Okay, when they do that, you are very hopeful that we may be leading.
After we do that, if the Nigerians are not convinced, it is at that level that the anti-graft agencies will now come into play.
But we keep hearing that Nigeria is borrowing money. How are we borrowing money and also losing money?
Because we are Nigeria.
Because we are Nigeria?
Exactly.
I don't want to believe so.
Exactly.
Because the kind of figures we hear that we borrow, the money we borrow from, the money that we use to expand and maintain the port is about 747 million pounds. And here we are losing $10 billion annually.
So, which is by far higher than that money.
So what are we saying?
It doesn't make
sense. Add up.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense, honestly speaking. And what asks me even worse is the fact that even after we borrow all those money, we don't see it impacting people's life, and even those money that we are losing, are we actually losing them, or they are going somewhere we don't know?
It's called leakages.
After they leak, where are they going? This will be the question.
Probably somebody is leaking it.
That is good. That is where that is the destination.
Unaccountable.
They are ending up in the pocket of bank account of some few Nigerians. They are not drifting down to the seas. They are not getting burnt. Do you understand? They are finding their way into the pocket of some Nigerians. And I can just not believe that the government do not know those people to whom the leakages is going into. The pockets which those leakages are going into. I just can't believe it. Money just can't leak. When they leak, they can't just drift into the sea. They are going somewhere. Then it is the responsibility of the government to find out where are they headed. You gave us the information that we are losing money. Okay, fine. Fine.
So chase the money, you will see the person.
Exactly.
All after the money, you see the people.
Tell us where the monies are leaking into. But they are not doing that. They will only tell you that we're making losses.
$10 billion is enough to fund the budget of Nigeria.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of money.
It's a huge amount of money.
If you convert it, you know the Nigerian budget is not in trillions, tens of trillions actually.
$10 billion, you know how much is $1 billion?
I know, I'm not a forex expert now, so you can do the maths for us here.
Okay, now the quality of life, what do you have to say about the quality and livelihood of Nigerians?
I don't have to say.
Vis-a-vis.
Anytime anybody asks me this question, I will tell people to look at themselves.
Okay, look at yourself. Tell me.
So very, very poor.
You are looking very healthy.
That is camera. That's camera magic. See the kind of expensive cameras we are using now. They can change you. So
you mean you're not as good as the way you look at it? Mr. Shaibu, as a senior citizen?
Yes, no. This is just our expensive cameras doing the magic.
Now, what's expected? What hopes you have? You know, you've been talking about hope.
Yes, I have.
Now that we are reshuffling the economy, I mean the ministry. What hope? Are you very hopeful that with the coming of the new minister?
Yes.
And most probably, we are hoping also that maybe 1 or 2 ministers might follow suit.
Exactly.
Like trade and the rest of them.
You are not expressing hope.
And I'm not expressing. I'm advising.
Exactly. Particularly, Minister of Trade and Maritime.
And Minister of Power as well.
Minister of Power also, even Agric. Any minister that we don't feel is impact, let him come and explain. Why do you need to explain? Let him just go. Bring in better people that can do things that can impact the life of Nigerian citizens.
So these leakages, what do you think can be done to block these leakages?
I told you some of them. I just listed them to you. I said we need sweeping reform and strong regulatory oversight. We need to implement full digital integration of maritime operations generally.
What are the involvement of the anti-graft agencies?
Not yet. And then maybe to have in place deliberate policies that will promote local value addition. Forget about anti-graft community, anti-graft agencies at this level. You can allow the people that are responsible for these things to offer explanations first. But you
cannot progress without trapping they already leaked resources.
They might have some explanations to do that.
So you mean those leakages should just go like that?
I'm not saying should go. Can't you hear me properly? Let the National Assembly invite them for discussion. Let them explain. Why do you keep experiencing this loss?
So in the absence of explanation, no policy explanation, what should happen?
Then at that level,
the anti-graft
agency may come in. That is probably after the reshufflement might have been done. Then just like we do it to people like Somalemi, then they should not step in to do the needful.
Okay, the experts. What advice do you have for them?
Let them do the right thing, at least, because Nigerians are becoming more and more enlightened. Before now, ordinary Nigerians do not even give a damn. There are people that up to today do not know what a port is, do not know what activities take place around the port.
And the functions.
So there are people that if you tell them that we are losing 100 million, very, very mega amount to government, 100 million on this port alone, he will be thinking, you are losing 100 million, so how much are you gaining? They will be surprised. But you are not talking in dollars, and we are talking about tens of billions of dollars. So it calls for the expert to provide very good information and advice to the government, and for the government to also consider, just like it did now, reshuffle. I wanted the National Assembly, honestly, to invite those key government establishment under those ministries, and the minister himself. They did it to other ministries. Now, there was a time they invited which minister? I think it was former Minister of Finance.
Yeah.
It is within their oversight functions to do all these things, especially when crises like this, loss like this are being recorded in a particular sector.
And that brings me to the oversight functions. You know, over time, we've been seeing a lot of oversight functions. You know, we see even at some point when some of them are being carried out, and we see top government officials collapsing, trying to faint.
So these are the ones that are supposed to be carried out.
Some of them come with crutches. At the end of the day, we see camera capturing them when they remove those.
Some people will just say this is neck protection, that they are sick.
I know. Some people say off the mic. Some people will faint. We have had so many drama.
There is all drama because they don't have any explanation. They are the kind of people that stole, S-T-O-L-E, the money. So this is it is at that point that I want the anti-graft agencies to do away with them, charge them away, let them go and face.
But that brings me to what I want to say now. We have not actually felt or seen, as it were, very strong convictions of high-placed, well-meaning Nigerians. We keep hearing this rhetoric, repetition of statements. The money's been missing, leakages here and there.
Corporate apprehended.
Yes, and the rest of them.
Exactly.
And before we know, this matter somehow fizzle and fades into oblivion.
That is why that is where politics come into the whole thing. And this is part of us. Up to now, we have not seen, apart from even that one is not even corruption charges, and it's not even in Nigeria. But you hardly see all these officials being tried and then sentenced, except this Lawan, former House of Rep member, somebody Lawan from Kano. Apart from him, I haven't had any top government official being tried, found guilty, and then sentenced to in prison. Can you remember any? Apart from Lawan.
Based on official crimes and financial crimes?
Corruption and financial crimes, yes, apart from Lawan.
I have not seen any strong one. Minor like that.
Minor is not serving sentence, you see? The pension guy, right?
There's one other guy like that. I think I'm trying to remember his name.
But in a country where so many of our politicians are corrupt, Is it not shameful to say only 2 have been in prison?
In a country where the World Bank is even coming to tell you that 34.5 trillion.
Exactly. So even
it's
if
missing
say,
from your national treasury for the past 3 years.
Even if you say at least 10 have been tried, found guilty, and imprisoned or sentenced, do you understand? It's still very, very sad and very, very unrealistic in a country like Nigeria.
Why do you think so?
Because you see what is happening. Every Nigerian knows that many of his politicians and leaders are corrupt. Many. We have reached a point whereby even them, the leaders themselves, know that they are corrupt. So what are you saying?
So corruption has come to stay?
It has come to stay, but it must go unless unless we send it away. Honestly, we are not talking about people like us. We are talking about our children. Unless this corruption is done away with, honestly speaking.
But some people may argue that corruption has gone so deep that even the man on the street is corrupt. Yes, a lot of people.
There are people who have healed from cancer. So corruption is like a cancer to Nigerians. If there are histories and reports of people that have healed from cancer, it's also possible for us to do away with corruption. Although it will be absolutely so difficult, but there is still chances. If we don't eliminate it completely, we can be able to reduce it to a certain level.
But I want to think leakages that have gone into the set of $10 billion shows that the corruption there is systematic. It's systemic.
Of course, everybody knows that. It's systemic now. Everybody knows that.
So there are cartels.
Everybody knows that. Let me tell you something. The fact that budget allocation has been approved, and it has not reached the ministry in itself is also a corruption.
Come again, you said?
The fact that budget allocation has been approved and not released to the ministries to carry out their functions is in itself corruption.
The fact that the Minister of Health is getting that 6 million out of 210 billion is corruption.
Only for recurrent expenditure, not for capital projects. If that is not corruption, what is? So this is systemic. Why can't you release funds for government ministries to do their activities? Do you understand? It is only when the ministers have undertaken their primary responsibility and functions as enshrined in their mandate that the impact will be felt by the communities and the citizenry. And now you are sitting on the money, you are not releasing it for whatever purpose. And no explanation has yet been given as to why the approved allocation has not been released to ministries. So, my brother, corruption is everywhere. Go to the market today. An ordinary shopkeeper will decide to cheat you. Yes.
So leakage is everywhere.
Leakages is everywhere. Leakages is everywhere. It has eaten into us, but there's a way and manner in which you can fight it. Although this would form subject for another discussion when we have the time. I think you should have another program for us to discuss these things. How do we eliminate corruption? What do we do about corruption? Because it has eaten deep. Go to schools. The class teacher will tell your child, bring 5,000 naira for school activities. Your child will come and tell your mother that we are asked to bring 1,500 naira for school activities. All right, your wife will tell you that it is 5,000 naira. So you can see how corrupted even within our home.
A quick one before we wrap it up for today. Then, what sector could be adjudged to be the #1 sector that is responsible for this leakage? Is it our crude oil, the oil sector, or whatever, or agricultural sector? Which sector do you think will be adjudged to be the most vulnerable in terms of these leakages? Because we have a lot of things that we're exporting.
Honestly, the petroleum sector and the marine blue economic sector, these two places, because there are so many activities going place within the NNPC. Before now, we did not know that a public servant is taking his children to school that even Dangote cannot afford to do. And that person is not somebody that inherited money from his parents. He can do that just simply by virtue of the fact that he's an assistant, is it a deputy director or director in one of the NNPC corporations. Dangote confessed that this guy is taking his children to school abroad that even me, as a billionaire, do not take my children to such schools. You understand? All right. And so today also we are hearing in the maritime sector that we are losing $10 billion annually. Where are those money going into? What manner of leakages?
Leakages.
What manner of leakages?
I need to see that leakage.
No, it's leaking somewhere now. It's not like I tell you, it's not leaking. It's not spilling down into the seas. It's spilling down into somebody else's account and pocket.
Few pockets.
Few pockets, I'm telling you.
All
And
right.
I can't believe that the government does not know those pockets. You know, it's not the government that make that declaration. It's SERAP that make that declaration. It's an independent NGO that has eyes on the activities of the maritime industry. It's not the government that says it. And they gave very good write-up to defend their sources. The government cannot tell you that. You would have been happy if it is the government that could make that confession.
There's so much money in this country.
There's so much money.
Okay. Mr. Seb, unfortunately, time is on our side and it's not our friend. We just have to go. Thank you so very much for coming and being very active and productive on today's morning show. We do have to have you tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. CK.
Okay, thank you very much. And okay, this is where we are going to wrap it up today on the morning show. Tomorrow we are going to be here again to dive into other very, very salient and very important issues bedeviling us as a nation. But until now, bye for now. My name is Chidi Kenneth and this is PMB Morning Show. Do have a pleasant day ahead of today. God bless you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.